Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one we have Canyon commanding JAX, who he's been a big fan of since that mini rework came through. And you know, in that video that I made at that time, I said, you know, Zhonya's could be a really good thing within the context of an AD build. Canyon obviously was doing that from day one and has always said, yes, that's what I want to do. Obviously, when you have attack speed passive, you've got that leap strike, you want to make sure that you're amplifying, you know, when you have attack speed, you want to make sure you're amplifying that AD ratio and the ADs that you have in your kit, which is why bonking is still better than trying to, you know, do Night Harvest to JAX, which unfortunately I saw way too much of. We're against the Vi in this particular game, as you see on our map from our side. We don't know nothing. All we know that this war tells us that the Vi started on the bottom side. If she didn't get a leash and you're in another elo where they try and go leashless on blue, pay attention to the main channel video tomorrow for something on that. You will see a lot of deep vision here giving good information for you, because now you know exactly where she is. Obviously, pay attention to, you know, not being invaded here as well early. JAX, Canyon in this case, moved down. He was watching that entrance. Starts on the bottom side and decides to go for that good old-fashioned level 3 gank on the bottom side. Now, at this point, we know Vi is on the top side, and obviously JAX now, Canyon can basically go, hey, look, this wave, my bot, their bot, should we do a cheeky dive? We do have the counter-strike. Area of effect abilities will be reduced, but also good stuns for our Milio and Xayah. At this particular stage, I'm not always a fan of investing this much time, but JAX is so... well, you couldn't make this up, you know. Hey, let's go for a dive, guys. Just push the wave in and don't die. It gets hooked and killed. JAX, Canyon, again, I'm going to confuse the names, is going to go for the counter-strike here. We'll get that flash stun. We'll get the Giga Bonk. We'll leap strike to our ward away. We'll have the Xayah taking some damage here. The Vi is actually moving all the way down here because she kind of started thinking about maybe seeing some of this stuff. We're going to block that Q if possible, but she's going to flash, gets the E proc through, so that's kind of weird. Flash, got the Q anyway, and then obviously hits the E to get that AoE bonking to kill the Xayah. The Vi in this particular case, from her perspective, you don't know anything other than, I guess, you know, this is gone already, so maybe JAX is either starting down here and going this direction to show up, or he's here, therefore I can just rotate down to the gank. Especially if this is ungankable. Ooh, we're looking from the Vi's perspective at that time. Like, Vi finishes a red, sees the ward placed on the Raptors and goes, okay, so either JAX is going to be on the bottom side trying to clean this up, or he's pathing top side. I might as well just go to the bottom side and get myself a free kill. JAX obviously showed up, got the stun, got the kill. Now we move to take this scuttle. This scuttle, we can fall back to the red, but blue side. But I'm not a fan of that kind of investment for the majority of elos, because you know what's going to happen is they're going to die. The wave won't be slow pushed to crash properly anyway. You most likely die trying to get one kill, which isn't fair for you whatsoever in terms of the time investment. And then the enemy jungler who started here and goes up will full clear and just take your blue stuff, you know? And of course you can come back to the bottom side here, but yeah, it's not really what we really want to be going for, is it? I swear I know other words other than really. Really, really, really. Malphite, Cannon doing the business. The Vi goes for deep vision here. Does she really want to invade the JAX? I mean, I know she has that itemization advantage. And of course, JAX sees this, right? Like, Canyon sees this movement and says, look, if she's on my wolves, if she's trying to collapse in on me, I know she has that advantage as Vi. I'm just leaving. I'm just going to leave and give up the wolf camp. Vi will show top side here. Malphite was not paying attention to it because he's just a rock. Stun. Vi. Slow. No. Lives. We obviously go to the bottom side here. We see this and we go, okay. 27 CS now that we've killed that ward. Keep an eye on those things. And we know that Kai'Sa and Blitzcrank did not flash because we didn't give them the opportunity to do so. Therefore, if we want to go ahead and gank this, we could go ahead and gank this and burn those sums. But now they most likely will flash out and get out, and we already invested a lot of time. Here you see this going on, right? You see this a lot. In this case, I know you see this in silver jungling because in the courses and everything, we always have this come up. Basically, you could farm your camps here and cut into gank mid lane. You could farm your camps here and go and gank bottom lane again because we see the Vi and we know the Vi's top side. But what he does is say, look, that Hextech Dragon is so damn good for me. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly snack that. And from there, fall back to this side. Vi will come here. I can counter gank it. Let's see if that actually happens. But you see the mid lane fight. You're getting super close. Do you leave the dragon to show up? In this case, Canyon says no. In this case, I agree. Why? Because we've invested so much time again into the scenario here. This is the guaranteed play. And if we go there, maybe they both die. Maybe he gets the kill anyway. You see what I'm saying? And now we've wasted time not farming. There's no point doing that. The JAX from our perspective here, actually now says no to what I was suggesting, which was, why don't we go to Krugs, assume the Vi is going to now come to the bottom side and counter gank it. Canyon is a little bit selfish sometimes with these things. It's why he's good at Nidalee, it's why he's good at Graves, and it's why we are us. And we think about these things, and he's like, I don't give a shit about you guys in the bottom lane. I dove you. I wasted time earlier. I'm good. So what he'll do is basically say, look, you go ahead and just don't die to the gank that I'm sure you know is coming. Let's have a look here. The hook does miss. The Blitzcrank's going to go in. Stun. There's Vi. Obviously, we can project. This was expected, I think. I mean, I said it out loud. I'm sure you all, if you're high elo, were thinking, okay, look, Vi's coming down here. Maybe we can do something. But, yeah. Okay. So, JAX, in the meantime, was trying to go up here now. Kenny does this, though. He really does this. And it's something that we can just call the high-risk, high-reward play. He really tries to push these advantages early, especially around the level 6 with the Malphite and so on, because you can always fall back to your camps. But I don't like that we basically just left the Krug camp on the map. We left the red camp on the map. The Herald wasn't even yet spawned. We know the Vi's coming down to the bottom side. We could have done work here. And I think because it's him, because it's a challenger game, because it's Korea, there's different philosophies that will work for your high risk, high reward. In your prototypical games, in Diamond and below, even in Master games on whatever server you play on, it would have been better to ensure that we shut down the Vi, got a bot lane even further ahead, and now we've taken that whole red side as well. We can reset, spend that cash money gold, go top side. We've got all our camps, we've got the Herald, we've got the Vi's red stuff. We can dive the top laner, we can kill the top laner. But as you're seeing here, Canyon is being very, very inefficient. And this does happen in some of his games. He just kind of has that residual early season 13 perma-gank mode, and he just says no to those things. Sorry, here we go. See, now the Malphite's going to go, and now we can just counter-strike, get the super bonk, and there you go. Because remember, your W empowers your next auto attack or leap strike, so you can press W and then do that as well. We'll leap strike to the JAX to get out here. Akshan's going to do his thing. Oh. Yeah. So, as I was saying, we have flash available to us, but Vi's going to flash it, yeah. She could have R'd, which is technically the better play, but at the same time, it's better just to guarantee the kill. You know what I mean? Like, you might think, okay, the cooldown for the R is lower than flash, therefore I should just ult. If you're uncertain about Counter-Strike, you're uncertain about flash or whatever, obviously JAX used the flash. Just flash it, you get the kill, move on. Because the ult now can be used for a better target than this kind of thing, right? That ult will be more useful bottom lane and mid lane at this particular stage. Obviously, Vi should fall back to this Herald. She'll go ahead and take that. Malphite's like, can I check to see what's going on? Yes, we could. Can I push her off? Yes, I can. Vi's like, is Canyon arriving too? Obviously, we have the Canyon holding mid lane, Akshan on base, so Vi's just like, I better leave. So good job, top laner. Would you, if you were JAX, have gone to contest this knowing everything we know? Hopefully, the answer is a little bit of a yes. Now, what Canyon is doing lately in some of these games is really try some odd pathing practices. And I'm not going to bullshit you and say, look and marvel at the glory of his genius. We are not Jeremy Clarkson. And sometimes even he do make bad plays. And in this particular case, I feel like this was a bad waffle scenario. Yes, we tried stuff. Yes, I get it. But jungle denial is really good for most of you MMRs. Okay, so there is always lessons to be learned. Okay, like I understand they did this in Challenger. That's great. Thumbs up. Hurrah. But in my elo, maybe it would have been better just to shut down the Vi and snowball my bot lane. Everyone's happy. Enemy jungle is useless. I can still reset and have a lot of control. We do see the Vi now going in here. We do have the ult we can use. She will use it to guarantee that kill, except the JAX will counter gank. We have the ZRTP, we'll get some ult gamings, and of course tries to KU the Xayah who's R'ing. So here we go. Now we get into the movement of let's rotate the things quickly. Could we go and steal some of this shit? Yes, we could. But Akshan mid lane, let's crank down here. No buts, actually. I'm trying, you see, the problem is he does this, and it's really frustrating. He sometimes has such a mind for his own camp's farm, and really does trust the laners to a certain degree, but more so, trusts his ability to get his own econ to get so fed he can 1v9 regardless. There is a downside to that strategy, right? Because now the Vi, for example, can just go down to the bottom side, get a free blue. That blue should be gone. If I was coaching you right now, I'd say, look, it's bronze. This Blitzcrank's nothing, you know? You can kind of wait a little bit to see if he shows here and just go for it. You can go around this side if you're worried it's warded. Quickly snack that sucker. Snack this sucker, collapse mid lane now. Get the good kill on the Akshan. Nice, you know? And sure, you might lose some of this dragon pressure here, but who really cares at that particular stage? You also could have just contested this Herald and snacked it. Kill it. Take it. Nice. Fall back to blue side. You know, Vi's coming down side. You just cut through. Leave all of these camps up. Gank it up. Use a Herald here. Extra plates. Now you can force this as Blitzcrank holds to take this, to take Dragon instead. There's a lot of cool stuff that he could get away with. In my opinion. But obviously, we've done this a long time. Not every jungler jungles the same way. There are pros and cons to everything and every decision you make. And I think any person who makes content on the EDU level and an analytical level, coaching level, and tells you that this is the one way to play the game, that's already a big red flag. Because I know straight up the way I explain things and the way I envision the jungle is not the way someone else might. They might prefer a different playstyle completely. They might prefer this kind of stuff where you just don't farm eloquently at all. It's really just really forcing to look for these ganking plays and these action plays. That's fine, because you know, you're a challenger, you can make it work. And when you're smurfing, you'll notice how this kind of stuff works as well. The reason I explain it the way I explain it, well, we just bonked him. The reason that I explain everything this way is because you are not smurfing, you are not challenging, you're playing against someone of your equal skill level. So maximizing all the advantages you can get is critical to success. Vi is now 7-1-0. So countering to anyone who might be thinking, yeah, but it's Canyon, he knows what he's doing, yes. But Canyon also makes mistakes. Everyone plays incorrectly, and I do think we've had a few of them in this particular game, and the Vi has punished him for it. 7-1-0. She's gotten away with things and gotten things I don't think she should get for free. And if you are in your diamond elo trying to get to message, if you're silver trying to get to gold, if you're stuck in platinum, emerald, greenville, this is always going to be the case. You let enemy junglers get away with things, they will always come back to bite you. Yep. Anyway, that's my piece on that. In the meantime, what have we been doing correctly? We're still up equal and good farm. We have 6 versus 7 KP. We have a Dragon. We have a Herald too, but thanks to the Malphite. We had a great early investment, you know, to get that bottom lane ahead. And now it's working out great. 2-3-2 as expected. Vi shows up on this Dragon saying, wait a second. Now we're like, wait a second. And then we're like, Malphite's like, hey, wait a second. I also want to shop. Oh, fly. Low ping gaming. Low ping gaming. Everyone was just saying, wait a second there, but good rotation. Good rotation. Hello, Cannon. Can we go in here? We do have the flash. Oh, we have the ult available. We don't actually have a flash bonk anymore. You have this up again. We have here the bot lane pushing up to ward a little bit. Are we going to flash counter strike this? No. No need to. Absolutely fine with a leap strike. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Leap, stun, kill. Nice damage. Good job. They definitely overpushed a little bit, knowing where their jungler is. Because if you're the red team and you see this, disgusting. If you're the red team and you see Vi topside and you see the JAX go down again, you've got to respect that vision line, right? You've got to respect your pathing, your trading, and your lane existence relevant to what your jungler's doing, what the enemy jungler's doing. They didn't do that. JAX gets a kill. Nicely done. We'll leap strike to block. It will aggravate the blue buff for some particular reason, who will now try and slap people away. And Azir goes topside. Vi will most likely try and get a kill here, but we'll just go in and get this bunk here. We're going to have to flash out ourselves. We do have a plan. We can leap away to, or from, depending on your perspective here. Ult is obviously down. Flash 246 now, obviously. Vi shows up here. I think we just have to give things up. We know Blitz is here. We know Akshan is in the area. We know Vi is taking that grump. Don't stay. Don't die. Most important thing is don't die. 8-1-0 was 5-2-2. A great example of how selfishly or whatever, focusing on yourself is great. But if the enemy jungler also does similar things, you're both going to get fed. So who takes control? Main channel video tomorrow as well. Very important on the tempo side of control and how you can really, I guess that's why in my mind, when I kind of track the vibe probably going down here, my mind is like, how can I cut this off? Fresh video. Hello, Kaiser. Now, of course, we don't have a flash, but we do have a leap strike, and we'll prevent this turret from falling. We have a whole bunch of action on the top side, so if you're the JAX here, you're watching this, you go, okay, cool. Keep clicking and dragging your mouse as necessary. Obviously, it doesn't work in replays. And you can straight up rotate to this if you feel you can get there in time for the good juice. You can also stay and just kill a Kaiser, who you should be able to kill, actually. And JAX decided, I'm going to rotate to this. Leap strike is now on a cooldown. It's low-ish, though. Well, kind of low. Counter strike. Nothing, no flash, no leap strike. There we go, bonk, hooked into position. We have another W available to be used. Boink, there we go, nicely done, thank you so much. Counter strike up again, as well as leap strike for the red buff. We have here the Vi showing up. We do have ult now as well. Here we go, right, let's go. Counter strike. Get it? Ult is obviously active. Remember, in this case, well, I think I tried to sell an overplay. Outplay. No. The more people you hit with your ultimate, the more resistances you gain. Remember that. So it's great for a nice grouped up team fight. Still useful, but... And the added damage there from your kit is passive, right? I think people don't understand how that works a lot. You see here? Passive. Every third attack within 3 seconds deals an additional 60 magic damage. You just need to level up your ult to get access to this. Much like Pantheon has his armor penetration built into his ultimate as he scales 6, 11, 16. That's just innate, right? You don't have to do anything. It's just part of having that ability to level up. Some people don't actually realize that. They think you only get it when you press R, but if it's passive, you have it all the time. Just remember that. We do include noob 101 tips for some people. And again, Canyon loves to int. I mean this with all love in the world. I've seen the guy do a Lilia red Raptors, run across mid lane, flash into this Raptor pit to try and kill the other jungler who was doing red Krugs Raptors. He like timed it so that he could just try and flash in and get the surprise kill. He flashed and died. This was like 2 years ago. And in solo queue, he really has these weird plays. And I remember watching that in scouting, thinking, okay, that's kind of funny. And then someone was trying to explain it seriously in one of the discords I'm in, and I was laughing. It's like, there's nothing serious about it. The guy just tried to absolutely limit test troll the early game. Here and now, you're seeing the power of the JAX. Nice that you get the kill that we don't have to worry about that. We'll get the Blitzcrank as well from the slaps of the Rockman giving cheeks. Counter-Strike is active. Well, don't really need that. Bonk again. Remember to use this as much as you can. As much as you can. Before your leap strike and whenever it's up, because your leap strike is now at 5.42 second cooldown with this haste. This is at 203. So you can use it for your initial leap strike, but then keep using it in your fights to get that empowered damage. And obviously your E is your dodging of incoming attacks and your max HP damage spell. Something I probably always seemingly forget when I talk about JAX. Yeah, the damage has max HP. For shits and giggles. Now, the most important thing is when you make these good fights and these chase downs, fall back to the dragon. See, we didn't rush Zhonya's, we don't do troll stuff, we're not going Trinity Force. Divine Sundry is absolutely fine in this particular case because you got a lot of CC from the Blitzcrank, from the Vi. You're going to need that healing. And, you know, we're already at 1,000 healing, right? You can't see it, but always match history linked in the description below. We're already 1,000 healing. And people like to look at low healing amounts or high healing amounts and kind of try and justify it. You've got to look at it within the context of the fight. Like, if an item like this allows them to win a fight, that gets them Baron and lets them win the game, even if there was low healing in other situations, the high healing in that moment is what you need. Vi obviously has it here as well, fully stacked Conqueror, but she dies regardless. Now, obviously, we have lethal tempo in this particular case. She has Conqueror, we have lethal tempo. Okay. You can also just leave strike and then empower your next auto attack. So, in the meantime, Akshan is splitting on the bottom side. Xayah is going to catch this mid wave here. We've got a bit of a game on our hands for once, actually. We did have a deficit as a blue team. If you look at the gold graph afterwards, you'll see that we had a deficit. We have to come back from it. But now we're 935. The Divine Thunder spike was huge. We have the Black Cleaver. And now we can build a little bit more armor and jump into the Zhonya's. That stasis is going to be massive when we want to jump into fights, or if we're going to ulted by Vi or hooked in by Blitzcrank. Going to give us a lot of strength, which we're going to need because our ADC is 3, 5, and 7. And again, trusting yourself to straight up carry the game is absolutely fine. But I always have a bit more of I don't have the true 1v9 mentality in my framework. It's always a bit more like, hey, you control everything, but you've also got to help others as well. And I think for most MMRs it's true, because you know the tilt factor is so big. They assume we're all going to go for this Baron, so we don't just start it off. The Herald goes off here. We're just going to go straight for the fight. We do have the Counter-Strike here. We have activated our ultimate as well. We will have low cooldown on that W, so we can keep getting empowered attacks. Obviously, Counter-Strike is pretty decent as well. Here, we'll Leap Strike to our Ward Flash Counter-Strike. Another bonk is good. We do get stunned, but it doesn't matter. We'll Leap Strike to finish. How juicy was that? JAX, Black Cleaver, Divine Sundra, smurfing it up. Huge level lead, level 12. Look at it go. Lethal Tempo obviously gives you that nice and beautiful attack range extended, as you can see here. Capstone uptime at this point is 20 seconds. They did nerf it. They've nerfed it quite a lot of times in history, because this rune can kind of be super strong, too strong, or just right, and it's always a tough game. But in this particular case, we do like attack range extension, especially as JAX. But our cooldowns are so damn low at this particular stage. I think that's what frustrates people historically. I mean, I know for a fact, it's just low cooldown on Leap Strike, plus low cooldown on Empowered ability, plus that Counter Strike. It's just rough to face, tough to face, not always... Well, I mean, as I said, he likes to troll it and go all aggressive. Don't do that. Don't do it. Now, nothing happens for the next minute or so until we recoalesce as a squad, unified by one desire to destroy Seeing Vi ever again. I never thought I'd miss Sejuani Zac meta from season 5 or whatever, season 6. But as everyone goes in, you see how the JAX peels there? Vi goes super deep, we turn to peel, now we can come back in. We use our stasis here to avoid the stun and the damage from the little hamster rat who goes too deep now. We kind of zone it off with that stasis. The Kai'Sa's not the backline, she's going to flash away here, but we will have all our abilities up pretty damn quickly. We're following the Xayah for some particular reason and not the JAX now. As is the way with these skins, they do get, get a little lost sometimes. Let me just kill him now, thank you so much. So here, it's the most important thing, right? Because you peel the Vi, you go super deep, okay? We jump back in here. Now we want to chase the Kai'Sa as a team, but we know that that's taken care of, so we'll turn on the other priority target. Yeah. As what you were probably thinking you were seeing, but it was actually the ADC. So, we'll do this Dragon while our team can push the top side here, which is great. That's what breaks open the game, right? The Baron fight plus this Dragon fight busts open the game. That's it. 2 fights. Equal game, methodical, 1v9, looking for plays always, perma-aggressive, high risk, high reward, and you live with that, you know? If that's how you want to play, you live with the downside sometimes when you die and you lose pressure. We are probably not going to end here, so we're just going to try and double inhib this. We do it from the back line here. So if you see someone on the back line and their whole team is spawning, exactly right, you go straight in. Kai'Sa's out of position. She's going to ult in for no particular reason. Well, at this stage, cooldowns are pretty low. We have seen Canyon throw many times on this channel by trying to end too soon. I think even though we have Soul here, we should be a little bit more cautious. Anyway. Or this. Man, every time you load up a Canyon VOD and you're like, this is going to be jungle perfection. And the guy just semi-trolls and still ends up just smurfing it away. But it's also a good example, right? Like, you can do whatever the hell you want most of the time, as long as you put the pressure on yourself to get your econ. And know when to make those right plays. Like, you can't ditch the whole time. You still have to rotate and make the right plays. And play the champions that allow this. But he loves this champion. He's played it for a lot. Played it a lot this season already. Zhonya's is completed now. And because we took out people on the top side, they're just going to engage 4-man mid lane here, but we have 2 inhibs down. So while they can push and try and get something back, we can really push hard here on this turret now. Yeah, they're going to keep pushing. Muffet will try and hold. Yeah, there we go. There's no wave though, so they probably could have tried to do something else. But again, like what? What are you going to try to do in this situation if you're red team? You're waiting for the Elder spawn, and you just have to kind of play around that. That's it. For blue team, we lost our Azir, so what we're going to do is just go back to base, not die, don't overstay, very good. Everyone regroups now, juicy, push up this wave. This wave will be pushed up automatically. Someone with TP could always push that up and TP back to the top side. Push this vision line up, trying to look for the Baron play. Now, JAX has gone down to the bottom side here, and again, this is the thing, this is usually the jungler on the red team looking for these camps for no particular reason, and now JAX is farming down here, looking for this wave. The jungler should never be where Canyon is. In Challenger, you could probably get away with it, but not in most games. Because you do that, your team will try and chase someone who's over pushing and all die. Then they're just going to go for this. And now, yes, you can push it up, but you're not getting anything of value. So again, Canyon says, look, I pushed it out a little bit. They commit TP to that bottom wave with the cannon, so we'll just do the Baron. Yep, that's exactly right. Do the Baron quickly. Cannon has no TP. There's a crashing wave on the top wave as well. We're looking for the fight. You want the fight. 100%, you want to go in, kill everybody. They should not be contesting here as the red team. You know it's gone. You got to give it. If anything, you could commit double TP and try push bottom lane and have the rest of the team stop the bases. That's a thing you could do. But JAX is just going to kill everybody, I think. Malphite TPs to the bot. X-Drinker will do nothing. More of my Mortiers will do nothing. GA will do nothing. Vi. Nice try. Decent feed. But you only got fed because JAX allowed it, I think. I think what you're noticing mostly is that, JAX is a strong solo queue champion. Also strong for ganks and dives. You don't have to FK farm. Lethal tempo is huge on this champion for sustain, DPS, and attack range. Always will be, always has been. Synergizes beautifully with his attack speed passive and the build, right? Because he has so many AP scalings, you want to maximize attack speed and AD fusion. Always good to understand that. So, don't forget, bootcamp coming up at the start of Split 2 should be juicy for you. Virkayu has your courses, and very soon, a very nice upgraded package for easier access to the courses. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next one. And with the season being split into 2 parts, it is time for another bootcamp. Myself and Virkayu will be joining forces with Gosu Academy once more, as well as Coach Kaibit, to ensure that you have all the fundamentals you need that will outlast any meta and maybe even time itself. You'll see the topics on your screen now, a completely revamped curriculum specially to build on the previous bootcamps, and along with tickets for this bootcamp, we will give you all of the previous VODs to the previous bootcamp so that you can have all the fundamentals you need as a total package. And if you can't make the lessons, don't worry about it. It's a 2-week bootcamp. If you have work, school, there will be VODs available online for you as well. Teaching materials, exercises, classes, lectures, coaching, as well as a free course giveaway from my own personal site, Virkayu.gg. You'll be entered into a raffle and I will be giving away 10 of those courses. Click the link below to join the Gosu Academy Bootcamp on June 26th with myself and Coach Kaibit, and I look forward to seeing all of you there.